Hey fellow monarchs, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of a new series covering Kingdom 2 Crowns. This series will be a mix of a speedrun and tutorial. If you would like to skip the overview, please use YouTube chapters. I want to read a little bit about the game because I'm going to be jumping in very quickly into deep gameplay and trying to explain as I go, but it will be moving very fast. Kingdom 2 Crowns is a game where you build your kingdom and secure it from the threat of greed. Not greed as the idea, but greed as greedlings. They're little monsters that are after gold and treasure. The game is very visually stunning and has a almost no user interface. So, but it is surprisingly packed of strategy and challenge. So I've disabled all of my user interfaces, you'll see in a second. I will be streaming a tutorial speedrun where I try to reclaim all of the campaign islands on a single reign as a monarch. It's an achievement. It's like a 4% of players have achieved that. It's a relatively difficult thing to do, and you have to play a very certain style to attempt it. I'll be playing only on medium difficulty, however, and I'll try to detail all the strategies and tactics that I'm using while I play. And the only channel point redemption really is the ask a question about the game. So if you have a question, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer that. So let's get started. Oh, this intro music's very loud, sorry. You know, some games, like, the audio bars don't adjust for the menu music. Yeah, I guess this is one of them. So, there are different types and styles. I'm not using the DLC of Norselands. I'm just going to be playing the standard Kingdom 2 Crowns campaign here. Oh, I guess I'm a queen. Sweet. Looks like I'm a barefoot queen. Again, the queen will try to last. And let me adjust that sound. I guess we're down to 2. So, very simple controls here. Left and right. Up and down. That's pretty much all the buttons you use in shift, I guess. Left, right, up, down, and shift. And I can play one-handed. So this is the little tutorial, which gets you started, and I highly advise you not to skip this one because it gives you free money. So you control the monarch, and really all that you do, and this is sort of oversimplifying, is you decide how to spend that money. So right now, I just built a little campfire to start up our little town, and then I hired 2 people by dropping them coins, and then I bought a hammer and a bow to make a builder and a bowman, setting up a basic wall segment to prevent the greedlings from overrunning our camp. And the tutorial ghost here, it's the ghost of the last monarch that attempted to do this and died. So they're trying to guide me. That's sort of the in-game tutorial. So if I die, the character that I currently have will become a ghost. Oh, before I go any further, I want to set my flag to a Yoda flag. So we have this little lammy sheep here. I just dropped, I went over to a vagrant camp and dropped 2 more coins to the vagrants to hire them. I'm going to pay the builder to chop down a tree. And I'm going to be explaining a lot more than this. I'm just explaining right now what the tutorial has me doing. But the basic tutorial is now over. So the general idea of this game is that there are 5 campaign islands, and on each island there is a cliff cave that is breeding greedlings and having them attack you. So the object of the game, more or less, is to clear out the cliff caves, but that requires you to invest in a kingdom town center and walls and defenses to be able to actually survive. So what I'm doing right now is I'm spending what very little gold I have to cut trees. The initial strategy that I'm going to use for the first 2 campaign islands is more or less what I would call bunny hunting. There's a bunch of different ways to make money. You can have bowmen hunt creatures, you can farm, you can fish, you can go treasure hunting, although that's a pretty finite resource. And you can also do some banking as well. And bunny hunting is kind of the easiest, but I'll be getting into the other strategies later on. So this individual right here is the merchant who comes periodically, drops some coin, and then you pay them to sort of reset that. And what I'm doing here is I am clearing these trees out, because as you can see below me is this sort of grass that I can graze on, and that regenerates the horse's stamina. And when you cut down the trees, there are two biomes, essentially. Well, there's kind of three, but there's two that you're going to mostly play with. There is forests and plains. And as you can see, the horse moves a lot faster in the plains and can graze the plains grass. And then the plains have these thrushes that spawn bunnies. So in order to make money, I can clear the forest out for plains and then post my archers up on these towers. So on this little map, you can see these little dirt mounds. These dirt mounds are where you're allowed to build walls. And then these stones are where you're allowed to build towers. So you can't just pick wherever you want to build walls and towers. You have to place them in the predetermined locations that the game offers, meaning that you have to sort of strategize how your defenses are going to be, because you can't stack a whole bunch of towers like a tower defense game. You have to work with the terrain you're given, and the terrain is procedurally generated for the most part. Every island will have a certain subset of resources and special things to unlock, but where those things are located and the layout of the merchants and the vagrant camps and all that are procedurally generated, so no two game is exactly the same. So these two tents here is a vagrant camp that spawns people that you can pay to do work for you periodically. And then this here is a merchant camp. The merchant camp only occurs on the first two campaign islands to make the game a little bit easier, because she comes and sells you stuff for gold. She'll just basically gift you gold. Whereas on the future islands, she doesn't exist, meaning that you have to be smarter about how you spend your economy. And this is the first night. So every night, almost every night, we get attacked by greedlings. Any villager that is outside the walls, protection of the walls, will die from the greedlings. They will. Oh, here's a greedling. These little purple, gray monsters on my left. And we shoot them with our bow, hiding behind our walls. And then, in the morning, it is safe. There are some exceptions. There are days of recovery, I'll get into later. So another strategy here, the vagrant camps and the merchant camps can only exist in forest. So if I cut down this tree, which is adjacent to the vagrant camp, I clear out the vagrant camp, making it more expensive to recruit additional villagers. I.e., it's a bad idea, don't do it. You can do it. It's not, you won't fail the game in doing so, but as I said, it's a bad idea. So now, with all those trees I cleared out, you can see that this bunny field is full of thrushes and bunnies, as slowly, much like games like Terraria, the biomes will shift. So this biome now is a plains biome rather than a forest biome, and you can see all the thrushes spawning bunnies, which is what is giving me money. So I'm going to start upgrading the walls up to tier 2 from tier 1. And now that it's daytime, I can pay the merchant and reset their location. And the next thing I should do is start to work towards building the boat. This is a speed run, so I don't want to be hanging around too long. So over here, to my east, is the boat that gets me to the next campaign island. This thing. So I've just paid gold to essentially salvage the boat from scrap. Paying these two vagrants. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over, hopefully collect some gold from my hunters, and have these two new vagrants become builders so that I can build that boat faster. So this game has seasons as well. It has different biomes. Each individual campaign island has their own challenges. Oh yeah, that archer had a lot of gold from hunting. And as you progress in the game, you'll unlock more stuff. Right now, we're restricted to like wood tech, very low tech. Yeah, I'm a bit of a ghost. Yep. Another thing is there is a build priority. Your builders will prefer to build buildings, and if there are no buildings, they'll cut down trees, and if there are no trees, they will build the boat. So the boat is the lowest priority build, meaning if I want the boat built, I should not cut down additional trees because then my builders will prioritize tree cutting. The other issue is that during the nighttime, and we're about to head into nighttime, the greedlings are going to come and threaten the builders. And you could think of each builder as being worth 4 gold, because the hammers cost 3 gold, and the person wielding the hammer costs 1 gold. So builders are more valuable than a singular gold. So when greedlings spawn... Oh, hey Griffin. When greedlings spawn, they will try to grab 1 item and then return back to the portal once they came. So I'm going to try to show you one of those greedling portals. And greedlings are not the only type of enemy. There are a lot of other types of enemies, but they are the ones that you're going to interact with early in the game because the game will ramp up difficulty over time. If you're wondering what that thing that just flew from the sky was, it's a different type of mount. Right now I'm on the basic starter horse. The Griffin mount costs a resource that I don't have access to yet, and I won't have access to on the starter island. So this starter island does not have any diamonds, or gems, rather. You assume trees grow back? They do not, no. When you cut down all the trees, they are gone. And then if you mark a tree for cutting them, like if you designate them to be cut with 1 gold, you gain back 2 gold as a result. So it is a net positive thing to cut down trees, but you can't unmark it. So if you accidentally mark a tree to be cut down, you are not going to be able to keep that tree. I guess, hypothetically, you could Alt F4 and quickly quit. So here is the boat. I'm going to ring the bell to tell some builders and bowmen to board the boat, and I'm going to take them to the next island. It's very advantageous to start a new island with some free help, because each bowman is roughly 3 gold of value, and then each builder is 4 gold of value. So bringing these people to the next area saves me a considerable amount of money. Because as you can see in the top right, that is my current money stores, and there's a finite amount of cash that you can have on you at any given time. So this boat right now has 3 builders, and then I'm going to wait for 3 bowmen who are running up. Ooh, good shot. All right. Paying the boat tax and getting off the starter island. Again, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to use the channel point redemption, ask a question about the game, and I will be happy to answer. So here is a map where you can see what I've missed. So I missed an archer shrine, I missed the griffin you saw, and I missed a hermit. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but I didn't have the resources to be able to unlock those. The second island will have the stag, we'll have a statue, we'll have a dog, so on and so forth. You'll see that when I get there. So here's the next island, and the ship shipwrecked, as you can see. We'll have to rebuild the boat again. And I'm going to be using very much the same strategy on this island that I did the last one. Trying to speedrun this one as well. So paying the vagrants and setting up a very basic camp in order to survive just long enough to get that boat built and get off the island. So the same sort of clearing out the forest for bunny lands and deer lands and just getting going quick. However, one thing is different. I am incentivized to explore this island, unlike the previous ones. So the previous islands had chests of gold, which is not a finite resource. You can find gold often, right? You can find things generate gold. This island and all the other islands, the other 4 or 3, have gem chests, and there are a finite amount of gems that exist in the game. So you have to spend them wisely, as you are not given enough gems to unlock everything that you want, everything that could be bought. And then also, greedlings will take your gems from you if they manage to attack you. So that brings me to other points. Every time a greedling attacks you, you have a chance to drop coins or gems, depending on what's in your purse in the top right. Man, this music is still a little too loud. Setting it to 10%. And then if you have no gems and you have no coins, they'll hit you and your crown will fall off. And if you lose your crown and they manage to bring the crown back to a portal, you lose the game. And you start again as a new monarch. Basically, you die and you can start again as a new monarch on a previous island in the state that you left it. So there is a sort of continue mechanic, but the continue mechanic can be relatively unforgiving because, let's say, and I guess I also failed to explain other mechanics, but the continue mechanic is relatively unforgiving because there's a ramp-up mechanic. The longer you play this game, the harder it becomes. So if, let's say, you're on the final island and you get knocked out, the island that you spawn on as a continue will have likely a lot less infrastructure, but the game doesn't get easier. The game is still as hard as it is, so you will have to scramble in order to build the infrastructure and defenses to be able to survive, likely stomping you again. However, when you do renounce your crown, it resets that ramp-up mechanic, but it doesn't necessarily reset some of the other challenges. So one of the things that's important to do, or one of the things that is challenging in this game, rather, is if you're trying to do a single monarch reign, there's really no room for failure. And there's not a lot of room for lollygagging because of that ramp-up mechanic. Because it's so important to just keep moving forward. So we have expanded a considerable amount of bunny lands already. And then as soon as the gridlings attack, I'm going to start exploring. Can greenlings attack archers in the tower? Yes, there are 2 types of greenlings that can attack archers in the tower. But I'm not going to be interacting with them for quite some time. There are giant ones that can, in certain circumstances, attack your archers in towers, and then there are flying ones that can as well. The giant ones can in certain circumstances, and I say it that way because the circumstances that they are allowed to attack you in a tower is that you use a catapult to launch stones at them, and they pick up the stones and throw them back. And sometimes when they do that, they will hit your archers in your tower. So this is a statue, and what this statue allows you to do, specifically this one, is it increases the amount of farms that you're allowed to have. Each island of the 5 islands have different statues that offer benefits. You unlock the statue initially with gems, and then you charge it up with coins. And the benefit of the statue applies to all the islands that you're on. But if your monarch dies, the statues get deactivated again, and you have to reactivate them with gold. So the first island had an archery statue, which makes your archers more accurate. And then this island has the farm statue, which increases the amount of crops that you can plant at a given farm. These are coin boxes, and these are gem boxes. I'm passing over them for now because I don't have a lot of room for this stuff. And I'm just hiring more vagrants. So on this island, there's a few of these locations that I'm looking for specifically. So there is the stable hermit, which I'm looking to find, which is unique to this island. I've already found the farm statue. There's a stone mine unique to this island and a dog unique to this island. And I would like to find all four before I leave. That's why, even though I have enough money to start building the boat, I'm not building the boat. That portal that I just passed by is the portal that the greedlings come out of. And this is the dock portal. So on each end of a campaign island, there is a dock on one end and a cliff on the other. And the goal, the ultimate goal, the way to win this game is to destroy all 5 cliffs. Every time you destroy a portal, the greedlings will retaliate. And for each portal that you've destroyed, they will retaliate harder and harder. So you can destroy every single portal, leaving the cliff portal last, but it makes it much harder and much longer to do. And I'm doing speed runs. So now I know on island number 2, the dock portal's on the right, so I should be attacking leftward because I don't need to destroy the dock portal. So the advantage of destroying the dock portal is it allows you to build a lighthouse at the end of it. And if you have a lighthouse built, when you take a boat to an island that has a lighthouse, like if you revisit an old land, your boat won't get wrecked and you won't have to rebuild it. I don't find that building lighthouses are useful at all. The only use for them is if you fail. The only use for them really is if your monarch dies, you can jump from island to island collecting the buffs again. So the only real use I find for lighthouses is a fail contingency, I guess. And I'm not planning on failing, I hope. So now I'm back home for the nighttime, and I'm just investing some coin. Well, let's hire some vagrants. You can see my coin purse is like near overflowing. When your coin purse overflows, you drop them sometimes on the ground and then sometimes into the ocean where they're unrecoverable. Gems, however, will never drop into the ocean. So you can't just oopsie gem into the ocean. That won't happen at least. So I've gone all the way to the right as far as the campaign could go. So I know that most of the points of interest that I'm looking for is left of where I am. Also, except for one unique case, all of the people that are in your kingdom will pick coins up, but they don't keep them. They will drop them back to you if you stand by them. The only, there is one type of unit that is not the case, which is a knight, which I will unlock much later on. Knights use coins to heal themselves, so they hold on to coins, and they won't return them to you. So I'm just hanging out here until morning, so I can send the merchant on her way. And then I'll go searching westward for the dog, the stone mine, and the stable hermit. Come on now. Long night time. So about the attack waves, typically every night there is an attack wave, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time. So it's day 5 right now. That's Roman numeral number 5. Every season has 16 days in it, and 2 days from the last day, 2 days from the end of the season, you will get a blood moon wave. So like day 14 is when the next blood moon wave is. So typical waves will attack, and if it becomes daytime, they retreat back into their portals. Blood Moon waves, however, keep attacking. They do not retreat. They just keep fighting, and you have to kill them, or they kill you. Kill or be killed. Anytime you destroy a portal, there's a subsequent retaliation raid, and then there's a few other combat mechanics that get exposed later on. Alec K, thank you for the resub and the bits. Highland Timber for the resub too. Talking about some other mechanics, you can build any tree that is adjacent to a grassland. You can start to clear out if you want and build upon, unless that area is behind a portal. So if you have a base and, let's say, grasslands, but there's a portal in between, you can't start utilizing those grasslands. But if there's no grasslands in between, you can expand your base out. And there's a bunch of different reasons to do that. To make it easier to launch attacks closer to the edge of the map. There is also to cover certain areas that you want to build. So for instance, if you're trying to build the boat, it's really helpful to have the boat behind your walls so that your builders can't get ganked by greedlings as they're attempting to build the boat. So this here is the stone mine, unique to this island, which allows me to upgrade the walls and towers from wood tier to stone tier, which is vitally important. Do not leave this island until you have the stone mine. And I also just got the dog. The dog was hiding in a hollowed log. And this dog, what they'll do is they will bark in the direction of greedlings. So it's barking right now. Yep, I can see the greedling. So I'm going to start running. You can see 2 greedlings on the left edge of the screen. But what I just did was I ran up to the hermit hut and paid 1 diamond and then paid 1 gold for the hermit to hop on the back of the horse. And this hermit is the stable hermit, which allows you to upgrade a farm into a stables so that you can more easily swap your mounts. Oh, also, the horse that I'm on, you can see it panting. When it pants, it means it's getting tired and it needs to recover. Most animals recover by eating grass. Not all animals. There are other mounts that don't do that, like a lizard likes to bask in the sun, or a griffin eats rats. But if you run too hard and don't rest, then you lose the ability to sprint, which means that you lose the ability to outpace greedlings in most cases. And the way to recover is to stop on grass and graze a little bit, and then you'll be able to run a lot more. So I found the farm statue, the stone mine, the stable hermit, the dog. So I have everything, all 4 points of interest collected on this map, which means I can build the boat and get the hell out. And if it seems easy so far, that's just because I know what I know what I'm doing, and B, I'm not doing the hard stuff. It's going to get a lot harder, I can assure you of that. So some of the new people that are just hired, I'm turning them to archers and constructors. And I think the archers on the towers killed the greedlings that were coming in. So I am... because I don't have to wait till daybreak. I can issue orders to start repairing the boat, knowing that there's no greedlings coming in. Now, there are some strategies here. All of the parts of the boat will be stolen by greedlings if they get here. And then the builders will be attacked. When they're attacked once, they will drop... and this is true of archers as well. When archers or builders are attacked once, they will drop their tool, a bow or a hammer, and when they're attacked again, they will turn into a vagrant, dropping a coin. Greedlings will steal coins, tools, boat parts. They don't really care. They'll also steal your crown. That would be terrible. What happens to the towns when you leave? They slowly decay. Walls will break down. Lighthouses will break down. So some of the infrastructure will be left, but not all of it, if and when you return, depending on how much time that passes. And unlike the first island, this boat, I'm not getting freebies. The first island, all of the parts required to build the boat are given to you when you pay the upfront price. This time around, I have to pay for extra timber because the boat is in more disrepair. I'm heading this way because I remember that there was a coin chest. Another thing for, especially if you're a new player, that I might find useful is writing down what is in what direction, so you don't have to go exploring, because you can only really go east or west in a given day, because by the time I get back to town, it's going to be a little too late to go fully west, for instance. You know what I mean? So, either have a really good mental picture of, like, where the important stuff are, you know, so it's like, oh, I know the dock is to the east and the portal, the cliff is to the west, or just jot it down. So, for instance, last map, I've already since forgotten the direction of the griffin. I think it was to the east, but I'm gonna want to go back to it at some point. So it would have been good for me to write it down had I been cognizant at the time. But I can also have you guys try to remember for me as well. Alright, there we go. So I can no longer load coins into the boat, which means all of the wood parts have been purchased. I'm just waiting for them to construct it, then pay 2 more gold to boat launch it, ring the bell for 2 gold, and then load the boat up. Don't forget to ring the bell. It's really nice to start off with troops. Alright, I am headed out. Campaign Island 2. I wouldn't say it's cleared. We didn't actually defeat the portals. I don't even have the means to defeat the portals, but well, we made some progress. Another thing that you might have been able to see is the hermit. The stable hermit came with me, and the dog came with me. The unique characters that you can collect are brought with you. So you can see I didn't get the stag, but I didn't want it. That was left behind. But I got everything else. I got the stone mine, the dog, the stable, and the statue. Oh, well, there would be a lighthouse symbol over here if I built the lighthouse, but I'm not likely to build any lighthouses. And then you can also see what I left behind. In this case, it looks like I left behind some gems, which was not good. But I'll bite that bullet. I probably should have gone more west to see if there was another gem box. I didn't realize I missed any. Oh no! Stupid coins. Sometimes your coin purse will get, like, bottlenecked. And the coins will get stuck and you'll start spilling them out. So you just have to drop a whole bunch of them. So in this map, it looks like the boat is very far west of the town center. And because I've played this before, I can also tell you that the boat in this map is very expensive to repair. So I'm not going to use the bunny hunting strategy that I used before. I am going full-fledged farming this time around. Oh, but I found the hermit. So we're on Third Island right now, and the Third Island has a bakery hermit, a farm, a builder statue, and 2 mounts that I'm not looking for. So the bakery hermit allows you to build a bakery, which can attract vagrants, so you don't have to visit the vagrant camps. It's something to be utilized once you're kind of wealthier, though. It's not great to use really early on. So I'm out of coin entirely. So I'm going to rely on cutting down trees. So I said that I'm going to try farming this time. So see that running water off to my east a little bit? That is where I can build farming. I just have to clear the trees between here and there in order to unlock it. Right now I'm waiting for the grasslands. There it goes. And you can only cut down trees that are, like, adjacent to grass. So you can't just, like, pick the center of a forest to start cutting down trees. It has to be progressively outwards. You can jump from grassland to grassland, though. So, like, right now I'm at the home tile grassland, and I could go east far enough to find, like, a new tile of grassland. Oh, that is a portal really close by. So, things that are really close to the portal cannot be cleared or built upon. until the portal is destroyed. So this farm, for instance, I can't really utilize, and the reason is there's no place to build a wall in front of it between the farm and the portal. So I could use the farm, but it wouldn't be very efficient. There's 3 tiers of farms. The first tier is day farming, where farmers will huddle around your town center, and then during the day they go out to the farm, they do some farming, and then they return to the town center at night. So I could build a day farm there, but day farms are less efficient than mills. Mills, or farmhouse. The farmhouse is farmers will then stick in the house so that they have less of a commute to the farm in the daytime. But I can't make a farmhouse there because it would subsequently be underprotected. Oh, time to graze. And dog's barking, so I know there's enemies coming, and I really need a western wall. So the map RNG for this this third campaign island was much harder, because to my right is a portal very close, and to my left there's a vagrant camp, which is going to make it difficult for me to expand westward without clearing the vagrant camp. But hey, that's what I'm about. Doing the challenge. So right now I'm kind of guarding the... Oh, wow. I will drop 1 gold for that greedling, essentially bribing them to leave me alone, because I am not... That bakery hermit was not going to make it in the cover in time. So now that greedling has been bribed, I'm going to start exploring westward. Although I should have let the horse graze. So if I clear that vagrant camp that I'm really close to, there's yet another one. Not too far off. And I don't... Okay, there is a wall opportunity right here where I'm standing. So I could build a wall there, allowing me to build farm. So I'm going to clear this vagrant camp to turn it into farmland. I think that is the right call. Day 7. So now that I've cleared the vagrant camp, what you'll see is the camp fall into ruins, and I can spend gold to turn it into a citizen house. So the vagrants can be hired with 1 gold, but citizens in the citizen house can be hired with 5 gold. So I don't lose the opportunity necessarily to not get more or not get new people to join, but they have a much higher cost. So now I've cleared the woods up into this wall point. I'm going to build a wall here. And I want to clear up until this tower spot where the stone is, so that I can build a tower to cover the wall. So at this point, you can see that the background wall, the wood picket, has expanded out to my wall spot, meaning that essentially the boundary of my town has grown. And what that will do is it will stop bunnies from spawning in here, for the most part. Like, there aren't as many thrushes, for instance. And then I'm going to buy a farm. And now, in order to start farming, I need to upgrade my town center to a higher level in order to hire farmers. So one side, I'm leaving bunny thrushing. This side. And the other side, I'm going to be farming. I could also day farm at this spot here. It's just not as efficient. There's a lot of thunderstorms happening behind me, so if I disappear, it's because I lost power or internet. So there is the tent, and for me to start farming, I need to upgrade the town center to the next tier. You thought that was in-game? No, It's IRL. It's crazy. Well, okay, there is some in-game as well. There we go. So now with the Tier 3 Town Center, interestingly, I don't see a scythe vendor, which sucks. Whoa. That thunder shook the house. Dear Lord. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah, branches are coming down in my yard. You know, like they do. Just making sure that, you know, house hasn't been hit. Or car. Dogs are holding it together, though. Alright, there we go. So here's the scythe vendor, which will allow me to start farming. So pay 4 gold for each farmer. And I'm going to bankrupt myself doing just that. Thank you for tuning in to Kingdom 2 Crowns, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link to Discord can be found in the description of this video and also at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow monarchs.